Well, Ian, I suppose you must be enjoying things at the moment. Nice little run the team are on.
Yeah, of course. Good run of performances and a good run of results, so we can't complain at the moment. Players are playing really well and they're a joy to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty dramatic stuff as well. I suppose a boring 1-0 win wouldn't go amiss, or as long as you score one more than the opposition, is that the situation at the moment?
Yeah, the performance is important and the entertainment's great, but we're just concerned about winning games. Like I say, the more we perform, the more we play well together as a team. We know that the results will be there. So, like you say, going into tomorrow's game, just important we win the game.
Yeah, and it's all about confidence in any walk of life and in any sport. And you must feel that the lads are, you probably see it in training that they've just got a bit of a lift at the moment.
Yeah, like you've just touched on then, it lifts everything. Results and performances lifts the group. Everyone's in a good place at the moment. And the training's got a buzz about it. And the lads are really eager to get tomorrow's game started. They can't wait for it. So I think we're all looking forward to it. A group of staff, players. I'm sure the fans are looking forward to it as well.
And you've got Grimsby next, home advantage as well. Ian Holloway in charge there. So I don't know whether your paths have crossed many times, Ian, but quite a character in the game.
Yeah, he's had a great career and he's continuing to do really well at Grimsby. They've got a typical Holloway style of football, so we know the game won't be easy, but we know that if we keep performing and having the application that we have done in the past few games, then we're confident we can win the game.
And you're above them in the table, although I'm sure you'll know that, I think they've got a couple of games in hand on teams above them. So you can't really read too much into that at the moment.
No, not at all. We're not really looking too much into where opposition are in the table anyway. At the moment, it's more about what we do, more about what we're capable of doing and what we plan to do moving forward. So the focus is mainly on us. So we're aware of the opposition. We know where they are in the league. We're aware of the potential threats and the strengths, but it's more about us.
And is there a feeling now, Ian, that you're kind of not so much changing your expectations because it's still relatively early in the season, but are you starting to look up now? I mean, the playoff zone is only 4 points or so from where you are at the moment. So is that mentality starting to change now, more positive?
I think the mentality's changed towards the approaching the games from the players, staff. We're approaching games now confident that we're going to go into it and win the game. We're not too much looking at the table as it is at the moment. We're just we're just focusing on the next game, just going to win the next game. And like you say, the table takes care of itself eventually, but the most important game is always the next one.
And presumably, Ian, I know it's something you're probably asked every week at the moment. The situation of the club is unchanged at the moment. Is that still a situation that you're ongoing in your role?
That's right, yeah. Nothing's changed. I'm in constant contact with the chairman. He keeps me up to date of what's going on and where he's at with the applicants and the job. So all I can do is, like I've said many a time, is just focus on the next game and prepare these players and this team to go and win a game of football.
Thanks, Ian.
Hi, Ian. Just check on the situation with Paul Lewis this week. Has he been back in training?
He has been, yeah. He's back in training. He's available for selection for Saturday. So the injury update at the moment is there's only really Rides, who's carrying his little groin injury. It wasn't as bad as we thought, which is great news. We're hoping to have him back training early next week. So that was really good news from him. But other than that, I think everyone's back.
You got, I think Joe Murphy had a problem last week, didn't he? Is he okay now?
Yeah, he had a bit of illness. He obviously, in this day and age, you've got to get your test for coronavirus done. So he's had that test done and he's come back negative. So he's okay. So just a little bit of cold, bit of flu. So he's back. He trained again today.
Great. Okay. Obviously, Morgan Ferrier came on last week. He's a player who's been out for a while. Has he had any sort of reaction, or is he feeling comfortable? Is he good to go again?
Yeah, he's good to go again. He's trained well again this week. He's in a good place, and thankfully he hasn't had any reaction to his injury. So we've managed him quite well. He's managed himself well. So again, he's another one that's available for us tomorrow. So the squad's looking strong. It's a different issue we've got now in the selection issue that we had at the start of the season. Start of the season, we were scratching around for players because of injury and COVID. Now we've got players that we're going to leave quality players in the stand on Saturday as it stands. So it's a good position to be in.
Yeah, he's kind of gone from having virtually no attacking players to an array of riches that a lot of other teams are probably a bit envious of at the moment, won't they? But you've got these 2 home league matches in quick succession, and then another cup game after that. So 3 home games on the spin. Are you actually at a point now where you might be considering a bit of squad rotation?
I think you always assess it after every game. So it'll be focus on Saturday's game. We'll assess them on the Sunday and Monday. But if you're winning and everyone's fine and they don't have any fatigue and that, I always believe in just picking your winning team as much as you possibly can. Of course, when you're deep into the Saturday, Tuesdays, when you've gone 2 or 3 weeks of Saturday, Tuesdays, of course, that's when the squad comes into play. And like you just touched on then, we've got some fantastic talent in the squad ready to come on. If you look at Saturday's game, we've won the game not just because of the starting 11, but because of the three players who come off the bench to impact the game and make a big difference. So that's what we've got, and we've just spoke to a few of them lads today, and we're in a good place, and we've got to keep everyone moving forward and ready to go.
Yeah, as you say, big impact from the substitutes at the weekend, and a big sort of change in the last couple of weeks, in which we've already touched on in previous interviews about the how more relaxed Tranmere are looking on the ball now, and passing from the front to the back, from the back to the front rather. Is that something you've been able to, now the confidence is back in the players, is that something you've been able to develop further this week, and you're seeing evidence of that being more slick?
Yeah, of course. We've always knew we had the players that we could play football and be more relaxed on the ball and play through the thirds. And to be fair to the players, they've took it on board pretty quickly. They've worked on it, albeit other than this week, we haven't really had any time on the grass to work with it because of the Saturday, Tuesday games, but they've picked it up in the bits of sessions that we've had, and this week they've looked good. And like I say, it's a confidence thing as well. So the more they play, the more they get used to playing together as a team, and the more they win and perform, they're going to get used to doing it. And like I say, I think they'll keep improving with it. That's not to say that teams are going to come and allow us to do that. We're going to have to work harder every game to do it, but we believe that we've got the players that are capable of dealing with anything that's thrown at them. And like I say, we're confident going into games, thinking we can win them.
Of course, you want to keep a few out at the other end as well. Keep an eye out for clever free kicks this week.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I touched on at the end of the last game against Port Vale, they've done us with a penalty, which was never a penalty, and a clever corner, which we hadn't seen them do all season. So it's something that we've got to be aware of as a group of staff and make sure that doesn't happen. The setup's right. But if you look at us defending in open play, we haven't been conceding many goals at all in open play. Conceded a couple from set plays, which are easily fixed. And like I say, we've had the time on the training ground, so there should be no excuses going into Saturday's game that we aren't organised properly, and we keep that out.